So sometimes in our industry, people are so focused on getting more clients and finding new clients, and even just like in building their audience, making their audience bigger, that they don't always think about nourishing the people that they've already got. And so today we are going to talk about how do you build an Olive Garden like client base? How do you treat people like their family once they're in your community? It's kind of like the mafia. The way that I look at it is like once you're in, and like you'll do anything to protect them and welcome them, but without all the murder and the bad stuff. So we're going to talk all about how to treat people today in your community, in your client and customer community, like their family, for the purposes of obviously providing incredible customer service and just like taking really good care of the people who have extended their wallets, time, and money to you, but also because this is a great way to build your business. On the other hand, we're also going to talk a lot today about how to make sure that you don't go too far with this whole thing, because I think I used to do this. I was definitely guilty of this. Where you start feeling like you have to give and give and give to the customers that you have already, because maybe you're, wrestling a little bit with feeling guilty about how much you've charged them, or wanting to prove your worth, making sure that they know how valuable you are, how helpful you are. Maybe it's just me, but that's something that I used to struggle with. And so this idea of treating our customers like family, like the Olive Garden approach that I like to take, is that, is a careful balance between making sure that we're treating them really well and providing great customer service and making people really happy with our products, while not going so far that we're, diving into like people pleaser land, right? So we're going to talk all about this today. I'm really excited because, really, if we take care of our customers like their family, and we treat them like this mafia-like situation, maybe this is a bad analogy, I don't know. But if we do, then we create a group of people who are not only really happy, and all that good stuff, and they're getting a lot out of your product, but we're also creating people who want to buy from you again, right? So we want to constantly think about customer lifetime value. It's really important. But we also create a community of people who are ready to tell others about you. So I really see this as like a two-pronged approach, where we're creating the spider web-like effect, right? Where for not going out and searching for all these new customers, which cost your business a lot more money and time and energy and attention, we focus a lot of our energy on the people that we already have. And in doing so, we naturally bring in those new people, right, for much lower cost than if we went out and tried to find them on our own. So I felt like I really went through this when I first created the Ultimate Bundle. That's my signature program. You get 10 legal templates and 35 on-demand video trainings, and then people get access to a private Facebook community where they get to ask me questions, and they're always getting bonuses, and I'm always adding things. And so when I first created the bundle, I felt like, this was the premium product that I offered, and it was going to be the end of the road in terms of my product suite. And so I felt like I just had to keep adding and adding and adding and adding, right? And when I created the Ultimate Bundle, honestly, I didn't think, I've very honest about this, and I've shared about this openly before. Like, I didn't think anyone would buy it, not because I didn't think the product was good or anything like that. I just didn't have any faith really in myself. I didn't have a lot of faith in what I was doing. I just didn't know. Right? I'm not the poster child for like believing in yourself. So maybe a bit more now, but back then I really just didn't know. And so I really struggled with feeling like, if somebody did buy it, I needed to make them feel like they would never regret it for a moment in their life, right? And, 5 years later, I'm here and telling you, like, you can't control what people think when they buy your product. Like, if you want to make sure that like nobody ever has a bad experience, or nobody ever has a bad thought, or is disappointed in any way, you're pretty much setting yourself up for failure, because you could do like everything in your power and somebody could still be disappointed. So that's really not what we're talking about today. We're not talking about like making sure that everything's perfect or making sure everybody is super happy, because we can't control that. But what we can control is making it fun and like sprinkling in surprises and little things here and there to make people feel like they're really a part of something. Like they didn't just come in and buy a product and leave, right? And I think this is like especially important when it comes to online business because we don't have a storefront, right? It's harder for us to create a vibe, for lack of a better term. Like when you go to Starbucks and stuff, there's like consistency and branding and like, some of them tried to make it like kind of cozy, like, cool coffee shop vibes. Like you can relax there and work there and it seems like nice and upscale. Costco, I watched this whole segment on YouTube one time. CNBC has a really interesting YouTube channel where they do these little like mini dives on different businesses and kind of like talking about some of their strategies and approaches to their business. And so CNBC had this one segment that was about Costco, which I love. I don't know about you, but I love Costco. Shout out to Costco. And I remember watching this segment and learning about how Costco does this thing where they essentially create a scavenger hunt like effect throughout the store. So they come out with these new products and they've trained us as the customer, as the member, I think they call us, to know that let's say Costco gets a new product. It is not necessarily true that that new product is like in your face on display. It can technically just be like mid aisle down aisle 27 in the middle of like olive oil and peanuts. That's what they do, right? And it creates this like sense of wonder, I would say, where, if you're anything like me, I get like really excited of like, what am I going to find? Like, this is so exciting, So there are little ways that we can create, I don't know, a sense of like belonging to something that's larger than just the product or the membership or the community. It really makes us feel like we are part of that community. We're something, right? We're bigger than that. I find this whole thing fascinating. And this is something that I have worked really hard on in my own business. And it was something that came up in the masterclass series that I hosted back in November called From Startup to Sold Out. And I talked about this Olive Garden effect and everybody was like, what's the Olive Garden effect? What are you talking about? And I started talking about it and they were like, I've never heard someone talk about it this way. So I really just want to dive into at least some of the, trials and tribulations that I've gone through in trying to take really good care of people while also balancing, the fact that I can't make everybody happy and while also being a businesswoman and saying, I do have to think about lifetime customer value. I have to think about how do you get more sales from the same people who are already ready to buy and already like what you have to offer. Not because I'm like robbing them, because I'm giving them something that's helpful to them, right? So I'm hoping that you're going to take something away from today and that maybe I shift your mindset on something or just spark an idea of some way that you can do this in your own business. And if you do come up with that, I hope you'll send me a DM on Instagram at Sam Vander Wielen. But yeah, I've had to, over the years, I've had to find a balance. I've always included updates for free. And that's something that I will continue to do because of the nature of what I do with writing, legal templates and recording these legal video trainings. Like stuff changes or new things come up. And so I record new stuff. I update my legal templates as much as needed. And everybody gets those updates for free. That's something that's really important to me. It's funny because people will contact me and say like, oh, I'm just like so grateful that these are free, or like, I can't believe these are free, when with these updates. And I'm like, of course, like, is someone charging for this? I don't know. But that's just me, right? And I also do things like I add in surprise bonuses and I like layering in surprise live elements, right? I like grandfathering my Ultimate Bundle members into stuff. So like if I come out with something new or I'm going to add a new bonus, I like gifting it to them for free. I like letting them know about stuff first, right? I like giving them exclusive content. So there are little things that you can do. And I'm sure as I'm saying this, you might be thinking of like your own stuff that you could do for your clients, but some things that you could do for your clients to really make them feel more like, wow, like once I bought from her, like I'm in. Right? I'm in. And so I think the thing that I hear the most from people is like, I kind of assumed, like people will email me this all the time. They'll say like, I kind of assumed that once I bought something from you, like that was it, right? Like you got what you wanted from me. And little did I know that I was going to get so much more. Like I thought I was just buying this, or I thought I was just joining the Ultimate Bundle. And for some reason, you've just like kept giving to me, right? And so they feel really well taken care of. So I definitely try really hard to just to make them feel like the relationship, the conversation is not over once their credit card is processed. I think that's like the really important part.